Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios. I'm your stockminer, Brian Johnson. Market's down a little bit today, but nothing to really panic about if you are bullish. Still appears like there's maybe another push upwards in the works here. LA Wave getting a little convoluted in through here, so won't try to give you the count. Just say that it appears to me like we have finished, what would be a fifth wave or whatever. At any point, it can turn around from here. Really doesn't matter. However, we're going to continue to watch some of these levels, all the same levels that we've been talking about. And you'll notice that today we had a little move down, but really didn't move anywhere for the most part when it was all said and done. This little line here marked a new start. I can probably draw another line across the top of these, marking somewhat of a pullback in action. The places to be watching now are 10,600, ultimately really below this 10,575. For the more aggressive people, if you want to take a short, that might be a place to look at it. And then below 10,500 for the more conservative on your short entries here. Above 10,700 still to the long side, and you can see here on a daily as we just put in a consolidation candle here. Very common, big white candle, small consolidation candle. Waiting for the next move as long as we stay up and over this support area. Guess what? Very similar to what we saw here. Break of support, come back, hold for a couple days. Actually, we touched this thing 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then a move up from there. Moving sideways right on support. Push up over 10,700. Now maybe we've got this move coming back into the 10,900-ish move, but gonna wait and see if we get that final push up here. NDX on a 60-minute still holding this blue line, ultimately not able to get over 1900 today, so no real trades there, just a consolidation day. Really actually very ugly trading today, guys, if you're trying to trade the indices. More than likely, you probably got your hands slapped today. There's a good reason for that, being as how we were in a sideways motion. Good day to just sit on your hands. I did send out an email to my subscribers late in the afternoon, about a potential trade, but that trade did not work out for us today. Market's not following through on the formation, and so we sit and we wait until tomorrow. NASDAQ on a daily, here's that consolidation, still holding below 1900. Any break above 1900 is back to what? Yeah, 1918-ish or so. For those of you that have been following me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Not big on shorting the NASDAQ, but once again, my really go short level for the NASDAQ doesn't happen until we get back down here. Really, guys, you just got to be safe and conservative with these type of trades, and the go short isn't until we get back to here. In my book, anyway. NASDAQ on a weekly. It's only Tuesday. We've gone nowhere. So, once again, 22-point move so far this week, giving us really nothing to trade, especially today. NASDAQ on a daily here as well. I just went backwards, didn't I? Yes, I did. Sorry about that. As we move forwards, here you can see the SPX doing the same thing. Broke this overhead, ran up, and now slowly moving its way back here. So, if you are still in a long from 1125, you want to move those stops up a little bit. I would probably not want to be long below 1115-ish or so, just to be on the safe side. Even if it turned around and ran back up, I wouldn't care. You just got to play this market very safely up in this area. So I still like trades above 1125. If it tries again, manages to get above 1125, and you're not long already, might be another good opportunity to get long in the markets. Otherwise, back below maybe 1110. Taking us back to 1100 at that point. It's still good for 10 points and not bad in this market, man. I miss the days when it was stuff like this, go short at 1120, 1130 or whatever, and then watch it run to 1010. That'd be great. However, the markets are not giving us that type of trading right now. And until they do, we've got to take profits where we can, and if that's 10 points, and you know what, so be it, it's 10 points. Just take what you can get. So you can't always hit the home run. So we'll just try to take it piece by piece. As you can see, this overhead line still holding. That was the one we ran right up to yesterday, giving me some sort of caution. So we're stuck between this 1120-ish, 1119-ish area and the 11 really 25-ish. Now up to 1130 on the upper end, as you'll see the next candle tomorrow opens next to this red one, giving us a little bit more room to the upside. So we could see a push back up into this 1130, 1132-ish area. We might want to watch that as well coming into tomorrow. From a weekly, going nowhere, finishing right at on above the 20-week moving average. We'll see where this decides to close by the end of the week. Could make for an interesting look if in fact we do continue higher. Even if we get up to like 1140 or 1150 somehow this week, boy, that would make things very interesting in the bigger picture. VIX on a daily up ever so slightly while the markets were down ever so slightly, so we are seeing confirmation there today, and you can see the slow grind downwards. Now, if you want to TA this thing, then you can TA as in technical analysis. This thing, you can see we do have some support sitting right back down here around the 21-ish area that we will be watching here on the VIX to see if there's any kind of a bounce at that level. Bounces in the VIX typically mean drops in the markets. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Lots of overhead resistance if you want to TA it on a weekly. As you can see, there's a lot of things to get here. However, when the VIX decides to run and fear comes into the markets, we all know how controlling fear can be as an emotion. Sometimes this means nothing. This will be cut through like butter, maybe like one of these big white candles as we saw. Apple on a 60-minute going nowhere today, up 8 cents. A $262 stock moved 8 cents by the end of the day. If that isn't definition, sit on your hands, I don't know what is. That was a very, very, very obvious consolidation day by Apple, waiting for the breaks, and here we go. See how we're consolidating right underneath this line? Still looking for more major breaks above the 262.50-ish area, so I still think maybe make for some opportunities. Got to be careful. This one put a wick through and then came back down. I still like Apple to the long side. Why? Because it's fundamentally strong. I just like the look of it. So I'm not looking to play Apple short. Unless maybe we get back below this 20-week moving average, then I'll start thinking about it. But until that happens, I'm really not all that concerned about Apple in this kind of sideways motion. It is tedious for those of you that are the Apple cores and like to play this thing all the time. I'm sticking with that. I used that yesterday. I like it. Apple cores for all you guys. I love it. All right, so for all you Apple cores, it's very tedious trading in through here. But still opportunities to come as Apple will eventually start its move, and when it does, boy, could be some opportunities for some decent profits. Even back up into this upper area here, guys, is like, you know what, the 272 area. That's $10 from where we are now. So if this thing starts its way upwards, might not be a bad trade. FAS, you can see, was down 2.5% today. It's a pretty big move. It's 64 cents, but very sloppy trading as it pulled back into the 20-period moving average. And on a daily, doing exactly what we're seeing kind of out of Apple. Apple stuck below some heavy resistance, so is this. Still looking for that push up and over about the 24, really 50 area. Above 24.50 could maybe give you a pretty good entry to the long side. Looking for it to come back into one of these overhead areas on an intraday basis, or if you look at the daily, that was the daily. If you look at the daily here, up into this 200-day moving average, I think makes for a pretty good shot. So anything over 24.50 back to maybe 25.50, and then about the 26-ish area. FAZ then, of course, consolidating sideways, moving up ever so slightly, but still held by its 20-period moving average. Waiting for more major breaks, too, before we take any kind of a trade on this. Yes, this is a potential reversal candle, but I just, whatever. I'm just looking for breaks back up and over maybe 13.50. Could take you back into potentially the 14 area here, somewhere back in this mess. So above 13.50, I don't know if you want to play this thing for 30-40 cents, but there could be some opportunities there. More major breaks for me really need to be over 14 or 14.50. Not even 14. Make it like 14.50, then play it back to 15 or so. And then anything below about 12.50, I think, to the downside would be a good short. If I'm looking at the charts as of today with the price action and volume. There it is. That's the chart for today. Just, consolidation days. What are you going to do? You set up and you prepare for the next major move. That's what we did last week, guys. Remember I talked to you guys about this pullback, and I was like, man, I love this formation to the long side. Sure enough, we got a beautiful break to the long side. Now we're setting up again. It's anybody's call at this point, but I still have to remain neutral to bullish. This is the same type of action we saw back about a few months ago, where it's just tedious to the upside, but it did go up. So we'll see if that behavior continues up over 10,700 and the other levels to be watching going forward into tomorrow's trading. And of course, as always, I will be back with you tomorrow night. All right, guys, starting to come into August. Kids are going to be going back to school. And I do appreciate you guys retweeting me and sending me to your friends. Thank you so much for that, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.